Please turn your microphones on and adjust them so they're not echoing, or at least we can hear
I'm
you.
going to turn my phone
Off.
Yep. There we go.
Okay, welcome to the June meeting of Town of Lloyd Town Board. Len, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all.
I gotta watch it.
Who's got password?
Jimmy, you want to start us off with the proclamation, please?
Hello. Proclamation, Scott Francis Tasker Memorial Resolution. Whereas Scott Francis Tasker was a longtime resident of the town of New Paltz, New York, and was taken from our midst on June 4, 2021. And whereas Scott Francis Tasker married the love of his life and soulmate, Tanya Tasker, on August 13, 2011. And whereas Scott Francis Tasker was a Marine from 1978 to 1982. Whereas Scott Francis Tasker loved the Marines, law enforcement, serving his community in any way possible. Whereas Scott Francis Tasker was a fire chief in Crown Point in New Paltz. And whereas Scott Francis Tasker was a dispatcher in the town of Lloyd for 18 years, eventually becoming a senior dispatcher. And whereas Scott Francis Tasker had many hobbies and interests, including fishing, hunting, gunsmithing. And whereas Scott Francis Tasker, most favorite thing to do in the world was spend time with his family. And whereas Scott Francis Tasker will be deeply missed by his wife, 4 daughters, 2 sons, 9 grandchildren, friends, and communities. Now therefore be it resolved that this June 16, 2021 meeting of the Town of Lloyd Town Board be opened in memory of Scott Francis Tasker, and be it further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution be delivered to his wife Tanya Tasker with the deepest sympathy of the town board of the Town of Lloyd.
Wow.
Clear. Do you think maybe while we're in the beginning of the meeting, we can do the introductions?
Are you going to move on to those resolutions first?
Or you got the other one, right?
Well, we can just do the introductions now. We can do the resolutions later.
Yep. What about this one?
Jesse Senza, he's going to be our new full-time officer. Michael, Ashley, and Jacob will be a part-time dispatcher, and part-time police officer. So he put himself through phase 2 of the police academy. We graduate in July. And be a new family members for a long time.
Welcome. Welcome, guys.
Congratulations and welcome.
Thank you. I have the pleasure of meeting with all of you. You're in good hands. Thank you. Wendy, would you read the second proclamation, please?
Proclamation, Patricia Berry Ann Memorial Resolution. Whereas Patricia Berry Ann was a longtime resident of the town of Lloyd and was taken from our midst on June 10, 2021. Whereas Patricia Berry Ann married the love of her life, Harold Berry Ann Jr., former town of Lloyd town supervisor, on August 5, 1967. And whereas Patricia's joy in life was truly her 3 children and 6 grandchildren. Whereas Patricia Berry Ann was never afraid to speak her mind and tell it like it was. And whereas Patricia Berry Ann's laughter and wit lit up every room she entered, and she was supportive and loving. Whereas Patricia Berry Ann will be immensely missed by her family, friends, and community. The memory she created will be held tight by everyone she touched. And now be it resolved that this June 16th meeting of the Town of Lloyd Town Board be opened in memory of Patricia Berry Ann. And be it further resolved that a certified copy of this resolution be delivered to her family with the deepest sympathy of this Town Board of the Town of Lloyd.
Wendy, thank you. Sean, are we still on? We're still in going to public hearing. Is that still?
The public hearing's still open, yes.
So there's been some discussions. We have a public hearing that was open. Apparently, at our last regular meeting, there was an issue with WebEx and the problem that they were having that night with hearing us was on the WebEx side, not on the Cablevision side. So the public hearing is still open. If there's anybody at the moment from the public that would like to speak, the time is here.
If nobody wants to speak, I'd like to speak because Mike and I met with them
When-
yesterday. And I'll be honest with you, my advice is to close the public hearing and let them come back to us when they give us a contract that has things in it that are giving us something. Right now, they're giving us absolutely nothing. Everything we asked for, they have not, don't want to do anything. We asked for extra hotspots. They say they can't do that. We asked for them to fix this system. They're saying there's nothing wrong with it, and we have people at home still that can't hear us.
But that's not them. The system's not, Joe, not to interrupt you, but this is a new system, and people can hear this.
Well, I'm getting reports from people at home that they have to still turn their volumes up. So, we spent a lot of money on this, these microphones, taxpayers' dollars.
You know,
that was supposed to.
This sucks.
We've got, they're supposed to notify us before they raise rates. They didn't do that.
Whoever that is?
It's
WebEx.
We asked them for an increase in revenues because they don't pay us for the internet, they don't pay us for premium channels, they don't pay us for the phone. They told us that it's illegal for them to give it to us. We asked for the wording to show us that it's illegal. The last board meeting we had still not received it. And like I said to them, contract negotiation is we leave the table not getting what we want, but we feel somewhat satisfied. You leaving the table also not getting everything you want and feeling somewhat satisfied. As of right now, this isn't contract negotiation. This is just a rubber stamp going on something. And to me, that's not contract negotiation. So, he said to us, John said, I'm going to get back to you. One of the comments was that you got more than other towns. We didn't get more than other towns. We get the same 5% that every other town gets.
How do you know, Joe?
Because we do.
How do you know? Do you have can you back it up?
Claire.
I'm just curious. I just would like to know
And
how you know.
he said to us, it's the standard fee, Claire.
I think that's a fair
And what he
question.
said to us is that if we want to make more money, get more people to buy his product. So that's his job, to sell his product. When you have a product that, we can't see the complaints, which we asked to do, see what our residents are complaining about. They said they didn't want to supply it to us. So the reality is, and like I said before, is they own the lines. It's not like we can get a competitor to come in. They are a monopoly. They own it. They can petition the federal government to make us sign the contract in the end result. But as a councilman representing our townspeople, I don't believe that we should even entertain this. And unless they're going to give us something, even hotspots for our townspeople in our parks, then at least we got something. So there's really, to me, no point to keep this public hearing open. And when they give us something, come to us with a viable give and take, we can reopen it. So I would motion at this time to close the public hearing and reopen it when we get that.
Does anybody else want to talk?
So there's a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Seeing none, the public hearing will remain open. I spoke with Sean today.
What?
What?
They're having trouble hearing us on WebEx.
Well, that's WebEx. That's the problem with WebEx.
It is
and that
WebEx,
whole
yeah.
system. There's no problem with our system and our speaker system. And if I talk louder, they'll have to turn their volumes down at home. So being that said, I spoke with Sean today. Our feeling is that we extend the public hearing for one more month and see where we are. Sean can have some conversations with Cablevision and have some conversations with Joe and Mike and see if we can come to some resolve within the next 30 days, and we will not be extended any further. There we are. Okay. Liaison reports. I can just tell you the assessor is busy. The sales are brisk. She has nothing new to report. And I can talk to buildings. I was up there more than once more than once, a couple of months per day. They're on fire upstairs. There's a lot going on. And I'm not just talking about commercial stuff. There's a lot of residential stuff going on. Len, anything on EDC?
No. Charles Glasner on? I don't see him on either. No, I have nothing at this time.
Okay. Fire district, our contract is up for the police station. We're working with the fire department now to get a new contract up and get it before the board. As soon as I have it, I'll share it with everybody. Joe, school district?
Sure. Before I start the part that everybody wants to hear about, I'd like to congratulate Ashley Hopper. She's a first grade educator at Highland Elementary School. She was honored by the Mid-Hudson School Study Council and named as Outstanding Educator. So congratulations to her. First, I'll start off with the senior class send-off picnic is going to be on June 18th, this Friday, from 12 to 2:30. They're going to have a barbecue for our seniors, which I think is really outstanding. And what every graduating parent wants to know about is graduation.
It's happening,
So,
right?
would you like to give my report?
Yeah. But it is
I got it.
happening, because I heard,
I guess Claire's very anxious to find out.
I am,
Okay, well,
because I feel bad for the kids.
if
too.
you wait, I'll tell you. So they're going to have 2 ceremonies. They're going to have one at 5 p.m. on Thursday, June 24th, and they're going to do letters A through L. And they're going to have a second one.
No, I'm sorry, June 24th?
June 24th.
Thanks.
At the high school out on the field. 2 ceremonies, both on June 24th. A through L, any student with initials A through L will be at 5 p.m. And anyone with the initials M through Z will be at 7:15. So Winslow and I, if we were graduating, we would be at the 7:15.
I'm surprised they're doing 2, because it's a pretty big field, no?
Well, because as of right now, the regulation, I know the governor has lifted COVID, but the schools, inside, we still have to wear masks in my building.
Yeah.
Students do. We've allowed students outside don't have to wear them, but they haven't really given us clear guidance on graduation. So, for example, my moving up ceremony at my school, the kids have to be seated 6 feet apart. The parents can be grouped in 2s side by side, but the next group have to be 6 feet apart. So, when you do that, it takes up a lot of space.
Do you know, Joe, are a lot of the kids getting vaccinated in your school? And do you know anything about Highland?
There's no mandatory vaccination. It's a personal choice. I know that, for adults, I recommend all adults get vaccinated,
Right.
but it's still your personal choice. For kids, I think that's a parent's decision. It is open to children
I know, that's
to
what I
make
was
their own
asking.
decision. I think 16-year-olds can make the decision themselves, but under 16, it has to be by the parent. But I wouldn't recommend or not discourage anyone. That's a personal preference, and that should be made by their parents.
Thank you. Any questions for Joe? Seeing none, Lenny, let's go to Highland Landing Park.
Right now at the park, we have a couple things going on. We're trying to finish the steps in the back off the porch. We need to do some work around the rock. There's going to be a dedication plaque to Bob Shepard that's going to go on top of that. So those are kind of things we're trying to get at. My right-hand man, Hank, he's going away for, a week and a half or 2 weeks. He's going to visit his family. So hopefully when he gets back, we'll get started on those 2 projects. The water line and sewer line hopefully will be started 3 weeks, 4 weeks from now, or something in that neighborhood. We're working on a couple of more grants and some other things. I do believe that there is a GoFundMe page on Facebook that Alan Vandy Bogarten started to finish the bathrooms. So that's kind of where we're at with that at the moment.
Lenny, thank you. On lights?
The ZBA, this was the first time last Thursday that the entire board was present. They were live, and I think they were all excited to see each other. All right, Stewart Shop on 9W and Chapel Hill Road. They're seeking relief of 23% of the lots that they combine. So they're only allowed 40% on that lot. So they're asking for almost 50% more. And there was an attorney there that was challenging them as they move forward. So the public hearing is still open up there. And that's it. Oh, one more thing. The ECC, they published their Lloyd Leaf. They work very hard. There's a lot of good articles in there. You could see them around town, in the library, in the town hall here. That's about it.
Michael, thank you. Lenny, back to lights.
Okay, as it stands right now, most of the lights that we've called in have been taken care of. We have 5 lights up at Bridgeview that are out. And I've been going around back and forth with Central Hudson, and we finally found out today, whatever it was, that
Plan B.
Plan B, right, the lights up there, the light and the eye is taken care of by Central Hudson. The people up there are in the lighting district. So Margaret sent the guy back a text with all the information, even though he claimed that they weren't supposed to change them. So we're working on that. There's 2 of the fixtures that are broken, but they're not Central Hudson's responsibility. And the poles up there are pretty shaky. So in the coming future, because they are in a lighting district, we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do about that. But as of right now, Central Hudson has those pole numbers.
Lenny, quick question. I've been hearing from certain people that, and I don't have knowledge of this, that we hired a contractor to go up there and we're paying. Is that true, to fix the
what, Joe?
lights?
Say this, what?
Up at Bridgeview, we're paying a contractor
To what?
fix lights at Bridgeview?
Well, I did go up there with Bragg until we got today that, okay, let's back up. Vito Dispenza used to go up there and do it. May he rest in peace, okay? So at that point, not knowing, because the gentleman from Central Hudson told me it's not our responsibility, yes, I did go up there with Bragg to see what we could do about fixing the lights. But as of today, he got a call that said we're waiting for Central Hudson.
Okay, so is there a fee involved with having Brad go up there and look at the lights?
Not now. What got determined today
but
is
shouldn't-
Central Hudson went in the computer today.
Well, I'll tell you what, okay? If those people are that upset, if there's going to be a fee because he went up there and looked at the 5 lights that were out, I'll pay it. Okay?
That's not the point. The point of it is that, if we have a contract with somebody, that's one thing. But if we're going to contract out, if they want to give us a free estimate, I think it's something the board should be notified about, and the board can make a decision of.
Okay, let me interject.
So,
Nothing got done, did it?
but you proceeded forward without letting
Exactly.
the
I
board know.
proceeded forward to go up there and look at the 5 lights so we could define what needed to be done, or how could we get a price to do it unless we did that?
And I
So
should
that
say,
was a starting point.
and as of today, we didn't know whether it
But
was our responsibility,
it's
or it
kind of
was Central Hudson's responsibility, or it was their homeowner's responsibility.
And I understand that, but it's kind of disheartening that the board is kept in the dark, and I have to hear from general public.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Let
Before
me
you go,
finish
no,
my
no, no.
statement.
Before you go any farther,
Let me
Joe.
finish my
Before you
statement.
go any farther, okay? The board in the dark. You can't be reached during the day when you're at school. Is that correct?
That's not true. You can send me a text message anytime you want.
Okay. No, I call you on the phone. That way I talk to you.
I think the more important thing is that
It's not a matter of I didn't get the text.
Lenny went and did it.
Well, now we know who's responsible for the lights. We know
Are
who's
they tagged? Are
responsible
the poles
for
tagged?
the fixtures.
Are the poles tagged?
The polls are,
No, they're not Central Hudson poles.
yeah, no, they're ours.
Okay.
It was a big mystery till like today at 10:30. When the
10:30
gal
this
went on the computer, and this Plan B, which doesn't exist anymore, they don't do this Plan B.
That's why the
Plan-
guy thought he could get away with telling me they don't fix the lights anymore.
They don't do it anymore, but we still have Plan B up there. So they're responsible for the lights and the eye. We're responsible, we are, or somebody's responsible for everything else. So the determination now is, since they're in the lighting district and we pay the electric, are we then also responsible for the fixtures and the poles? Sean and I had this conversation, we're working that out. I tend to think we might be, only because they're in the lighting district. And if that isn't the case, then we have to proceed forward and figure out how we're going to, take care of the poles.
Central Hudson doesn't have to own the poles to have the lights on.
That's correct.
Because you pay
Tag
for,
says customer's
they
property.
supply you with the
Correct.
unit, and you pay for the
That's
electricity.
correct. And apparently, over the years, it was a catcher's catch can. Today, we finally get, today, at 10:30, we got some definition as to what, where, and why, except for how we're going to proceed with the polls. I think since we're in a lighting district, it's on us. But that'll be a board conversation.
Thanks, that's all I'm asking for.
Sure. Let's see.
It's me.
Claire?
So I do know that the planning board, or the building department's very busy, and the planning board tomorrow night's going to be very busy, too. Just a lot of the same is in front. Stewart's is in front for their site plan review. I always want to call it Allspice. Allspace Storage also is in front for their site plan. It just seems to be the same thing. Silver Garden's the same thing. Falcon Ridge, I understand, met with the Water and Sewer Department, your committee, Lenny, and I heard that they're waiting for more information on that as far as the sewer goes, because that seems to be a pretty interesting topic for all of us.
Yeah.
Falcon Ridge also is in front of them tomorrow. The villages are also in front for site plan review. Mountainside Woods is looking at a lot line revision. Salux, solar panels just for them. So they're doing that. And also there's another local resident that's putting solar. And new business is Leprechaun Ventures, also for a site plan in front of the board. And just a couple other things in Pee Wee Holdings, which is Sal's. He's doing something. So that's what we have.
Okay. So Claire, I have a question.
So busy tomorrow, Scott.
So Claire, I have a question. I know you've been very involved in this, and, during the moratorium, we had talked about, privately owned sewer plants. And Dave Barton had made the comment that we didn't have to worry about that. That's something the town board didn't have to do. Now I'm hearing that Falcon Ridge is putting on the table this sewer plant, which the board was very adamant when it was first brought to us, that we did not want that. Why, if we were told that we didn't have to worry about this and we could just say no, why are we even entertaining it?
Because they have the right to come in front of us. So
And do we have the right to tell them no?
we have the right to, they're asking for more information. Franco
Right.
is on it, and I feel pretty good about them doing the right thing. And I know exactly what you mean, Joe. I'm on the same page you are.
And the thing that's very concerning to me, and I'm going to put up, is that, I don't know if you're hearing, but we have another development that was, cluster housing, and the lots are so small that in the deed restriction, the people can't have pools. And now the people are coming out and saying that they want the town to build a pool. And although it's a noble idea, it's a lot of money.
Where the fun
And there's a lot of maintenance. And now we're looking at Falcon Ridge, who's going to need a variance from us to build 2,600 or larger square foot homes on a third of an acre. Again, you have very small lots, and these builders are saying, well, that's what the townspeople, that's what people want. They don't want large pieces of land.
According to the builder.
According to the developer, because it saves them money. So I really cautious our planning board, and I thank Scott McCarthy for being here, that just because somebody wants something, it may not be in the best interest of the town or for the people moving in. So be very cautious.
Yeah, no, I believe that they are, because, and I know that you made a comment that it was a third, and the last time you said it was a quarter, but I'm told it's a half acre. So, and I know that you
They're
and I
saying it's
had done.
0.3, I'm hearing it's 0.33.
Right, so we'll see.
That's not
I mean,
a half would be 0.5.
Right, but here's
Quarter's
the,
0.25.
but I did ask the question, I was told half acre lots. And the other thing is, it's in front of Scott, so, in the planning board, until they really bring their project forward, they're still in real preliminary. They have no approvals to do anything. It's site plan review, and Franco and Lenny and the, Water Sewer Committee are do their due diligence as far as that sewer. Because that's a hot topic for you and I, for sure. I agree with you.
Well, it's about doing what's right for the town. So I'm sure the planning board will hopefully make the right decision.
Yep.
Good, thank you. Police, we did, I hope I don't have to come to you before for a ticket, but I'm going to ask the judge, I'm going to put you on the spot. Would you just let the town board and let people know we had a ceremony on Monday night? I don't think people are aware of what we do as far as the Legion. Just want to speak to that for just a couple seconds.
Excuse my appearance at work today. We had the flag burning ceremonies at the American Legion Monday night, and we had a great turnout from the Boy Scout, the Scouts, the boys and girls, and really helped us. And Lenny built quite a fire. It was an honorable event. It's something I wish more people participated in. Chaplain Joe from the little church in the village came down and gave a prayer.
And I must,
You forgot the best part.
no, don't do that.
You forgot the best part.
Led us in the pledge.
No,
There too?
no, we had the cannon salute.
Oh, we had a wonderful cannon salute. Scared the heck out of me. Thank you, Mr. Pizzuto.
Very welcome.
Supervisor provided a cannon salute, and it was good, and it was supported by the town of Lloyd. Nobody came.
And I must say, it was rewarding to look around and see how many young boys and girls were there in Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. That's the first time I've seen that many kids coming out to participate. It's a welcoming sign. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
They're younger. Len, Hudson Valley Rail Trail,
I'm
please.
going to concede my time to Mr. Pelizzi.
Peter, if you may.
All right, I'll be brief. As most of you know, I've been laid up for...
You got to speak right into it,
Turn it on, too.
right to your lip, like
Green is on.
like Frank Sinatra, right here.
Yeah, well, I'm far from that. So anyway, I've been laid up off the rail trail for 5.5 months, so I'm just getting out there. But we have some projects going on. We have the Girl Scout working on a bog bridge down off of the old rail trail to Black Creek. And we have a couple other projects coming up. We're making a little library up at Commercial Avenue, and it'll be connected with the different libraries. So you take a book, put a book back.
Oh, cool.
We're also, the berm in front of the trailer park on 299, the county was supposed to plant trees and bushes. We're going to put wildflowers there, so it doesn't have to be maintained and looks a little better appearance. And we met last night. I had somebody come in. We're working at historical signage. We're going to try to get a grant from the Greenway to interpret, this section of the rail trail and the different things along it with some real nice signage.
It's looking pretty stout, let me tell you.
Coming along.
Do you need
Back out
books?
there soon.
Do you need books, Pete, for that library?
Not as of right now,
Okay.
but.
I see there's a lot of books in my property these days.
Okay,
So if you need them.
right, thank you.
Pete,
Peter,
that
Thanks, Peter.
project that Boy Scout did up there with the railroad parts, the
Yep.
switches, and it gets a lot of attention.
Yes, it
Really did a beautiful job.
Yeah. So he just had his ceremony a couple of weeks ago, and trying to get him back before he goes to school to weed it once.
Yeah, but just pass it on.
It's good, and then there's projects behind that coming up, but
His grandfather would be proud of him.
yes, he would.
And Peter, everything you do with the Scouts is truly amazing, and it's
I
great.
have news for you.
I was going to ask.
Uh-oh.
So I've met with the art teacher at the high school. We go back with Boy Scouts, and we're looking at putting a mural in there. And also with Sue Gilmore and the school board, they wanted to do one at 9W. So maybe we'll combine that. I'm looking for them to do a mural on the one side, maybe we do a steam engine train with the smoke coming up over the tunnel on the other.
I like
And it looks like they're getting their permission from DOT.
And what they say, what I've been told,
cool.
what I've been told is that graffiti artists won't
Won't touch the
graffiti
smoke.
over other people's art,
That's
so.
why I said I just can't cover it
Oh,
over
you
the
can't paint
blank
it.
canvas and.
Right. And, but I appreciate that because, I know the pride that you and your committee in our town has in it. And it's so sad to see that. The other thing I wanted to ask you about, I'm not trying to put you on the
No, that's
spot,
right.
because I've not been sleeping well, and I drove by, sometimes I drive by our parks, and I noticed that Haviland, around 6 o'clock, 6:30 in the morning, must have had about 60 cars out there. How are we making out with the paid spots?
Well, I'm waiting for the machine to come in, and I have it marked out, dig safe, to put the signage in the road. So again, we gotta give the 3 months courteous once we put it in, that it's coming, so looking for the fall, definitely.
Right, and you got it worked out with Wendy, how to get our town residents, because all town
Yep,
residents,
between the two of us,
perfect.
so,
Bank account set up, we're ready to go.
Well, town residents won't pay, so we've got that
yeah,
figured
so
out.
they'll just have to come in, or we're trying to attach it to our website where you register your license plate, and, you know.
Just the
there'll-
town board
there'll be-
members have to pay double.
Yeah. They,
Supervisor Triple, I heard.
They have the ability to cancel a ticket if they are a resident, and,
Wonderful.
You mean Jimmy won't bang our doors down?
excuse me?
I said Jimmy won't bang our doors down?
I think it's a win-win. It's a win for our townspeople because it's going to enable them to use their park and be able to get a spot. And it's going to also be a win for our community because now our park can be
Self-sustainable.
self-sufficient, self-sustainable without causing the taxpayer. So it's a beautiful project.
Provide a nice income stream.
You can park anyplace else, enjoy the rail trail, and then
Right.
still go across.
How's the bicycle thing working out?
As far as the speed
The
and.
rental?
People-
I think he's ready to start.
Oh, he hadn't started yet.
Right, right.
Okay.
No,
Okay,
I think he's gonna work with us. We'll do education and whatnot on the trail.
Wonderful.
We need
Peter, thanks.
education for everybody.
And I wanted to say something to the chief. I was very, very impressed. Under his tenure, it was wonderful to see a police officer patrolling the rail trail. So thank you for that, because that's important. So keep up the good work. I know. I actually saw them, and it was great.
good. Lenny, water and sewer?
We'll go back to Falcon Ridge. They came in and they wanted a proposal, or they wanted to propose to us to build their own sewer treatment plant down on North Road toward the north end of whichever is egress and ingress, whichever direction they're going to call it. And there's a little stream there that runs north. And then after it goes north, it goes down under North Road. There's a little waterfall between North Road and 9W, then it goes under 9W, and then it goes down through Cross Creek and Elbow. And then again, when it gets down to the bottom, it goes underneath the railroad tracks and dumps into the river. So they're 78,000 gallons a day is what they're predicting at, I think, 166 house build-out. So anyway, everybody on the board, nobody said, no, you can't do it. But, you know, they wanted more information. You know, they have to go through so many different, the DEC, the Corps of Engineers, and probably Scenic Hudson wants their fingers in there too. So anyway, that's kind of where we sat with them, and I guess they're coming back to you guys, Scott, tomorrow night. So, but again, Joey, we have to approve it.
We have to approve it.
No, if it was gonna happen. No, I
Okay,
stated
thought-
that wrong.
Okay, I'm like, okay, we have to.
Just gave him a
I don't
shot.
have- You don't have
It
to do
doesn't happen
anything.
unless we approve it. How's that? Better nomenclature?
You have to entertain it. I mean, you can't.
Yeah. So anyway, that was our whole meeting for the Water, Sewer, and Drainage Committee.
Great. Okay, moving on to old business. Is there any old business to come before the
Yeah,
board this
I
evening?
have some old business. And
Yes, sir.
I want to commend the zoning board for coming back to in-person meetings. I think that's terrific. The governor has lifted all COVID restrictions, so I'd like to make a motion, and I'm not looking for an argument, and the motion is that the town board have all community-appointed boards resume meetings at the town hall for in-person, in combined with a WebEx, so people can still watch from home, commencing and starting on Monday, June 21st. I'd like to motion that now.
Second
Have a
that.
motion and a second. Discussion?
Yes. At the zoning board meeting last Thursday night, being back with the new screen, I sat in the back, and you could see everything, you could hear everything, and I imagine the people at home probably get a better view of what's going on.
So the zoning board was here and your people were on Zoom, your applicants.
No, they were here, they were
Fruit
live.
flies while
They
they
were
were
live.
The applicants were live.
I don't know where they're from, they're driving me out of my mind.
And Dave Barton was here, and he
Fruit
showed,
flies.
you know, he moved the maps around, and it's a lot easier to follow. And I think this would bring a lot of transparency, because some people don't like to watch it on, with the WebEx, because you lose static, you lose drop-off.
Does the town board have authority over planning boards and zoning boards?
Yeah, I don't know, because I think the planning board voted, then they want to continue with
Right.
with their vote.
The boards serve at the pleasure of the town. They appointed by us, and we're the governing body. So we can make that resolution, and they have to follow suit.
could vote.
If we vote to do that. If we vote no, then they don't.
You know, I don't know that answer. I don't think, I mean, it's
So-
just, you know, the reason we went into, or the boards went into remote meetings was because of the COVID, you know, and it's uncharted territory. So I don't know if there's any real law. They serve at the pleasure, but once you appoint them, they have certain authority too.
But they can't make this. We decide when they meet, we decide those things. So
Well,
we
yeah.
have the.
But
we
I
have-
also feel that you have to respect them and let them run their
And-
boards, and I'm not gonna
Well,
micromanage them, and I
well,
did say
you
that
have the
to
right.
him in
I
email.
put a motion on, it was seconded.
Yep, we
So
can
let's
vote.
vote.
Why did you pick the 21st?
It's Monday. You want to change the date?
Pardon?
Is there a different date you'd like?
No, I'm just asking.
And I,
Instead of saying starting next month or whatever.
You want to
I'll
start
add-
start July 1?
Before we vote, I'll just tell you my piece on it. My piece is that I trust the board to do what they need to do. I'm not going to micromanage them, that's number one. Number two is, if you go to the meetings, and I'm on those meetings, there's a lot of people, and they can't all come into the room, so then you kind of close it off. And then they can do WebEx, but it just, whatever they're doing works, so.
Is it working?
And it does, it works great. I mean, I've seen all the people that, when Bridgeview came up about Golden View, there was 1 million people on it. So, and right now, it's quite a busy board. I would say that I would ask Scott and his team to make a decision, and I will stand behind them. So if you'd like to vote, I'm a no.
But I just want to comment on that, Mike, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
But now that all COVID restrictions are lifted, a lot of people coming would be the same as if we didn't have the WebEx and we weren't in COVID. We would have to go to a different venue because these are hot topics. Therefore, that's a moot point. The reality is that
It's not.
it is, because if we didn't have, we'd have all these people coming, we might have to change venues. And we did change venues for different things. We've had to go into the firehouse before. And, you know, 2 of the projects are hot. And even if COVID didn't happen, we would have probably had to go to different places. So the reality is that we've all come back to work. The governor has now said there is no COVID restrictions. So it's time for everyone as a town to come back to work. And this is where we work for.
Could you, I mean, I think we're all on the same page. Could you make sure the next day or two?
Well, we're
because
going to
we're
vote
only-
on it right now, Freddie.
If you vote, I mean, I'll check, but if you're going to vote, you're going to vote.
Well, I'd like to know if I have the authority to do it.
Well, we can,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know
I mean,
either.
because they do,
I'm
the
saying we
boards
do.
have certain autonomy. You can direct certain.
Joe, can this wait 2 weeks till we make sure we have the
No,
authority?
we have a motion. Then if you'd like to make it for July 1. We have a motion, we have a second,
That was just a question.
and I'm
I'm a
ready to
no.
vote. Can we have a roll call vote, please, by name?
Mazzetti,
Yes.
Guerrero,
Yes.
Moody,
No.
Zito,
No, till I have clarification.
Winslow.
Nope.
So I'm going to ask a question. Is there any plan are we going to have that, when are they going to come back? Or maybe you don't want them to come back? I don't, you know.
Is there a reason we don't know about?
Well, I would tell you this, is I can, by the workshop meeting, I'll have an answer whether I think you can or not. I don't know. As I sit here, I don't know, but I can certainly tell you by the workshop whether you can or can't, and then you can certainly bring it up again.
Because for myself, I'm looking to bring our town board back for the workshop meeting all back here, based on what I think I know, and I've got 2 calls out today to make sure that,
What do you mean at town board? We are back.
no, I'm talking about the WebEx, so we don't need to do WebEx
No,
anymore.
I believe, so just to let you know, and I believe we should never get rid of the WebEx. We can change venues, we can do Zoom, we can do Google Meets or some other forum, but I think that's a powerful tool. We spent all this money on this TV, internet, that's a powerful tool for people
They
that
get
want,
on
that
TV.
want to be involved and communicate back and forth to watch from home. It shouldn't be the tool for in place of our live meetings, but it's a great instrument to have transparency, and our whole goal is to get more people involved. So this is a tool that we have at our disposal. To end it, I think, is ridiculous. I believe that not only should we continue this tool and continue to broadcast on TV, we should also continue to put these on YouTube so other people can see these meetings in full transparency and full disclosure.
They're all
to
on
con-
YouTube.
And we
They're
should
on.
and
They
we
are.
should maintain these platforms, but have everybody come back. But I would be totally against discontinuing this platform for people to participate at home, because this is powerful. And I think that anybody
They're
that
not
would want
participating.
any,
Are they doing anything?
Nobody there.
Are they saying anything?
Well,
They
listen,
can.
we have an association of supervisors and mayors. It got discussed last Tuesday. It's going to come back up again this month.
so
and-
I'm requesting that before we discontinue WebEx, it goes to a town board vote.
We could vote
Or
again.
a similar platform.
Right, we can do Zoom instead or something else, but I'm requesting that
Okay.
we are a board, and that it shouldn't be one person making a decision to discontinue. So I think the board has to vote on it, and if the four of
It is
you,
being televised, though.
but they
Being
can't
televised,
participate.
and tomorrow morning, all the WebEx and the live all go up on YouTube.
But you can't communicate. You can do a chat. I know we're not monitoring it, but, with information the way it is, and there's a tech guy I know, Freddie, that you met with, that would probably make this more interactive with us, that we could probably do something different, where people could, in public, open floor, they could, privilege of floor, they could speak with us.
Yep.
There's so much more that we can do. So to discontinue it, I think,
Yeah,
in its
I don't-
infancy is ridiculous. Because we're all about transparency, right?
And I'm not
Everybody's
gonna-
here about
and I'm-
transparency.
I'm definitely not going to disagree with that statement. I just would like to check with supervisors or mayors and before I proceed. So I need 2 weeks.
Okay.
I kind of don't see the point, but I'm just saying.
No, there's valid, but I need 2 weeks.
Okay.
Have an
Where we
answer
at?
by the workshop meeting.
I will. Any other old business before the board tonight?
The sidewalk, what's going on with the sidewalk from commercial? Again, I see a broken record. Sean, what's going on with that?
I don't know, Joe. It's Dave's taking the...
Dave is working on it. I
Dave's
thought
working on
they
it.
all met.
And I haven't been monitoring it.
The project, building the apartments didn't take as long as this sidewalk.
I think that they met. I'm pretty sure, and I actually spoke to Dave, and I want to say that they met, and I think Patty Brooks was there. I think I think Leibert was there.
I think they were waiting to hear back from Libo.
Yeah, and I think that, yeah.
Yeah,
and
that was
just-
prior to our last meeting,
Sean, could
our
you
last
hold a
town
little
board.
light under, because if they're not going to give us the money, or they're not going to put it
I'll
in.
check with Dave. I mean, you can check with Dave too, but I'll ask Dave. Like,
Yeah.
I have not been monitoring, Dave said he's on it, and...
And Dave
that-
doesn't return my calls, so for me to check with them.
Busy these days.
Okay, so I'll check with Dave, you check with Dave, Sean, I'll check with Dave. Agreed. Any other old business? Seeing none, any new business to come before the board this evening?
Actually, under old business, it's not on the agenda, but still pending before the board it's I Mountain LLC. They were looking for a lease for the right-of-way. They're looking to buy the old AT&T tower. They had come
Oh, yeah.
a month ago or so, gave a little presentation on leasing a right-of-way.
What's your recommendation?
Well, I mean, it's the board's decision. I mean, their attorney's looking for some kind of answer. I think originally the board had suggested $1,000 a month. They indicated that it's a small tower. They have to they're hoping to do some business up there and so forth. So I think what they were looking for is something, less that they can hopefully get up and running.
You think maybe we could stagger it and you come up with some?
I think they're looking for, I mean, I talked to Fred and Lenny today after that conversation. I mean, but it was my understanding that Freddie and Lenny were probably on board with a couple of years at 250, 2 years at 250, maybe then 3 years at 350, and then go another 5 years, starting at 750 with 5% increases, and that'd bring them out 10 years.
I could see
What do you think?
going with a 2-year lease, let them get started, and then see what happens where we go
Because it
from
is a
there.
startup company.
Whatever you want to come up with a number.
I'm good with that.
And we are upping it, so
Yeah, I like the fact that you're upping it, and let's see if their business is
Right.
successful, then they'll continue on. That'll be great revenue
But the
anyway.
reality is, we're not here to back or start businesses. We're a municipality getting paid by the taxpayers, and we have to do its best for our tax people. So the reality is that if they're a startup and they believe they're going to make money and they want this project, then we need to charge them a fair rate. We don't need to worry about with their revenue stream. It's none of our business. We can tell them what our proposal is. I don't think 1,000 is unreasonable. They're going to be using the road. Who's going to maintain it? Who's going to take care of it? They're going to come in there. I can see if you want to do maybe 2 months at 250, 6 months at 500, and then go to 1,000, and then after that go to 1,200 or 1,500. But for 250, why bother?
Sean, we got, wait, let's go to the workshop and see where we are with it, and then make some kind of
I know.
presentation.
Over to your side, huh?
Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's the board's decision. Right, on what
No,
you wanna do.
I think that you support businesses too. I don't know, maybe because I'm in business. I don't know.
Well, when the
And it is a
the
startup
first tower
company.
went up there, I think they were getting $50 a year.
Yeah.
Right now, the other tower, you're getting substantial money. That's a big tower, and there's a lot of rentals on it.
Right.
It's hard to judge what a tower is worth. I mean, the gentleman said down the road,
No, what I'm saying, that's what it started at.
right,
And where we are now with that project.
They pay a lot of money on that
I
big
know
tower.
they do.
right.
And
Now,
I'm gonna let you know, I was approached by Verizon to put a repeater, that's not even a tower, on one of my buildings. And they were going to pay me $350 a month. So this is a whole tower, so I don't think $1,000 is unfair. And if they can't afford to do $1,000 a month, do we really want to lease them?
Well, let's continue this discussion, Sean, and then maybe have something to propose at the workshop.
whatever the board desires.
Okay.
It's a church tower. It is.
'Cause it's
Whatever. I just want to put that out there.
Any other new business to come before the board tonight? Privilege of the floor. Yes, Mark.
Two questions. What's the deadline on the building that's collapsing, and have they started?
I don't have Anthony here tonight, but from our understanding, speaking with Anthony upstairs and the owner, he's now hired an architect and an engineer. They have a proposal. They're talking about when, Lenny, approximate date to start?
He also hired a demolition contractor. They're just waiting, which they might already have. They're waiting for the certificates of insurance and workman's compensation.
And there's a dumpster over there. They're cleaning out the inside because that had to come out before they could start any demolition, from my understanding on the inside. So they are proceeding.
Do you remember what the deadline date you gave them?
At 60, we gave him 60 days to start from about 2 months ago, but he has since started. So he's proceeding in good faith.
And there is an end date by chance?
No.
Well, I think what happened was, last time Anthony was here, was it 2 weeks ago?
Right, yes.
Anthony came in with a report, and he basically said that he has an engineer, he has a demolition. The engineer wrote a letter saying he's trying to get to, everybody's busy. And I think what Anthony's report basically said was he's acting in good faith with due diligence. So let's let him continue. We'll keep monitoring it, but it didn't sound like we were going to hold him too hard that fast deadline, as long as he's continue to work in good faith and diligently to.
And I'll have
get the project
Anthony
done.
at the workshop, and he can speak to that, because he's the one who's on top of that.
The other question I have is, do you have an update on Roscoe?
I do not. I spoke with Rupco today. They're working on our proposal. As soon as I have it, I'll share it with the board and everyone, and then we'll proceed forward with that. So that's where that's. No, they did not. Some people are still working remotely. So the 2 times that I called, I got to the secretary and then left messages with Keith. So I'll probably hear back from him within the week.
I'm sorry, Freddie, and you don't have to answer this because it's a different point in the meeting, but I know you've been working very hard on the rental cap. How are you making out on that?
I'll have something for you in 2 weeks. I have the law. I got the law from Michelle's office, from Jesse. I'm trying to working my way through it. I think the name of the law is the Tenants Protection Act of 2019, 2020. I'll have a proposal for us to all look at and entertain and try to see how we move forward with it. That's in the best interest of both the renters and the landlords. And that'll be a board decision. And since I have 3 landlords here, I feel very comfortable with this.
Tell them how many pages.
It's this thick.
Through it.
But thank you.
That's why we have Sean.
I should
You
send
can
it to Sean.
streamline it. Sean can paraphrase.
Okay, motions and resolutions. Wendy?
Motion to approve the minutes of the regular town board meeting of May 19th, 2021.
A motion?
Motion.
Do I have a motion and a second? All in favor?
Aye.
B?
Resolution to authorize the payment of vouchers as audited by the Audit Committee.
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Carried. C?
Resolution for Supervisor Pizzuto, authorization to sign the contract with the Reese Group for MVP and CDP-HP healthcare insurance renewal and enrollment for the terms of 7/1/2021 to 6/30/2022.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Discussion.
Discussion?
So Freddie, this is more of a statement. I just want to put it out there. So I just want the public to know before we vote on this that we did meet with another insurance company. We did to see if we could save the town and taxpayers money. And why don't you answer what the outcome was before we vote
We
on
did the
this?
due diligence, and quite coincidentally, both groups came back with a very similar proposal, both providing us with the information on CDPHP, which is an employee decision to make if they want to go with CDPHP. It is less money. They have to make sure that their doctors are within the group, and Reese Group was still kind of a nip above. We've been with them for quite some time. Our employees are telling us that they have excellent service and excellent response from the Reese Group. With all of that being considered, we stayed with Reese.
Thanks.
All in favor on the motion and second?
Aye.
All in favor, carried. D,
Resolution to accept the resignation of John D. Valentino as transfer station operator effective 6/10/21 per the recommendation of Rich Klotz, Highway Superintendent. It also should be noted that John D. Valentino has previously and loyally served the town of Lloyd in the capacity of both constable and court officer. We would like to extend our sincere thanks for all his years of loyal service to our community, and on behalf of the town of Lloyd, we wish him well.
Motion.
was there a motion and a second? I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye, so carried. E,
Resolution to appoint Brandon Parker from his current temporary status to a permanent status as transfer station operator at the base rate of $20.09, effective 6/10/21, at the recommendation of Rich Klotz, Highway Superintendent.
and so the board knows his salary has not changed.
Motion.
Motion. Oh, good.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so carried. F. Oh, Jimmy? This is for Jake. Oh, you, well, we can bring him up one, because they're in, we'll do them one at a time. How are you, Jacob?
You going to read, or you want me to read? Okay.
Resolution F.
Resolution to accept the resignation of Jacob Nielsen as part-time dispatcher, effective, I didn't have an effective date on that, June 16. Resolution to hire, I'm sorry, can I have a motion and a second?
Motion.
In favor?
Aye.
G.
Resolution to hire Jacob Nielsen as a part-time police officer at $21.20 per hour, effective June 17th, 2021, at the recommendation of Chief Janso.
All in favor?
Motion.
Motion second?
Aye.
Yeah.
It's okay, all in favor?
Aye.
So carried. H.
Jesse's? Oh my gosh, these fruit flies, where did they come from?
Close the window.
I know, but we don't know where the fruit flies are coming from. It's
Charlie,
not
that's
apple season.
crazy. Resolution to hire Jesse Asenza as a full-time police officer at $45,238 salary per year, effective June 17th, 2021, at the recommendation of Chief Janso.
For a motion? Second? Do I have a motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so carried.
Resolution to hire Ashley, hire Ashley Voda as part-time dispatcher at $18.45 per hour, effective June 17, 2021, at the recommendation of Chief Janso.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have a motion and a second.
Second.
Motion and a second from Mike. All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Jay?
Is it Gennaro? Resolution to hire Michael A. Gennaro as part-time dispatcher at $18.45 per hour, effective June 17, 2021, at the recommendation of Chief Janso.
I have
Motion.
Motion and a second. All in favor? So carried.
So I'd like to give them all applause again.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining the Town of Lloyd family, and we know you'll serve us well.
I always love when there's a woman involved. Did I say that out loud?
You could be on the podium.
I always love that we get a woman, at least.
To that to the side.
Were they here today? The flies, were they here today?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but, oops, sorry, I made the bigger fly.
Just push that newspaper guy out of your way. Congratulations, you guys.
And welcome, thank you.
Good job, Chief. Thank you.
Oh, wait.
Okay, Wendy, L?
Resolution to hire Emily Bosch, senior lifeguard, at $14.75 per hour at Berrien Park for the season.
Motion.
Motion.
A second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried.
Resolution,
I just want to comment. It's so good to see our young people in Highland taking these jobs, because I'm hearing, and Claire, you may be able to comment on this. It's so difficult for employers, I know restaurants, to find any help right now.
Yep.
So it's so great to see our community kids stepping up to serve our community and taking these jobs. That's great.
so I am going to comment on that. They canceled swim lessons this year because we cannot get enough lifeguards.
Wow.
Well, you have to just you have to rain on my parade, huh, Wendy?
No, I'm sorry. No, you're right. I love when you
but it
see all the
is.
names.
Myself. Why would I think any different?
It's really,
That's a lifeguard problem.
even the high school kids.
It's the certification problem. That's what it is. It's the
Yes.
Certification.
There you go, Wendy. It's not our kids. It's
It's
a
a certification.
certification.
No, I
Because of
didn't say it was the
COVID, They
kids.
couldn't get certified.
correct. You're absolutely
That's
correct.
But you see our counselors. So we just have to have more camps.
It is really hard to get people to work, right?
Right, Joe's correct. It's been a certification
It's
problem.
filling up nicely, though,
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it is.
very nicely.
And we just think of the positive, please.
We are trying to.
Disappointed that we had to do that. We're very disappointed.
So
Next.
Well, there you go.
There's going to be a lifeguard.
only about 1.5 million.
No, I
A
heard
little bit
I heard
more.
it's a lot more
We
than
need
that.
an-
I'm sure it's a lot more,
We'll
Claire.
need an
I
endowment for
did,
that
I
one.
heard. Wendy, would you like to share Rosendale?
Rosendale they went out for whatever, a bond or whatever, to
To-
repair their pool.
To
What,
repair.
$7 million?
That's not even
Repair it.
counting servicing it.
So that'd be a
It's
nice,
just to repair it.
Just to fix it.
yeah. And can you imagine that on the tax bill in Highland?
We're so lucky to have the reservoir.
So, yeah, even the mention of it was like,
This might get people mad, but I'm gonna be honest with you. My daughters are expert swimmers. My daughter was asked to lifeguard in Rhode Island on the ocean, and where they learned how to swim.
Oh, where's
was
that,
in-
Joe?
It doesn't matter where. But it's still the point they were asked. And both my children learned how to swim, myself included, my brother, my cousins, at the Highland Reservoir. It's a great park, and the kids love it, and we do a quality service making sure our kids know how to swim.
Let me know if they have any more openings out there.
You want to join me?
Yeah.
It's a great place, Fred. I'll be there for a month.
Yes, it is. Okay, M?
All right, resolution to hire Jake Ward,
Oops, sorry, F, L.
Ava Meyer, Nikala Slosher as summer fund counselors at Berrien Park at $12.50 per hour.
Another
Motion.
Highland
Motion
resident,
for a second.
Wendy. See?
All in
All
favor?
the old names.
All in favor? We have motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
So carried. M?
Resolution to approve the following budget amendments for 2021 CHIPS. This is normal. They've started paving. The bills are starting to come in. They just need to move their money.
yep,
Do I have a motion?
motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. N?
Can we get dates so I know to avoid those roads?
Yeah, they closed North Road today.
Yeah, North Road was closed because so
The one-
just so everyone knows,
They chipped the one road, and
North Road was closed today because of the sewer, was it water and sewer, I thought?
connection.
Okay.
it cost me a fortune
talked
to get
to
my
Dave
car
about
fixed.
today.
Tar?
Resolution to allow Girls on the Run Hudson Girls on the Run Hudson Valley to use the Hudson Valley Rail Trail for their event Girls on the Run 5K on Friday, July 16, 2021, from 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. from Tony Williams Field to 101 New Paltz Road. The trail will remain open.
Motion?
Motion.
Is there a motion and second? So all in favor?
Aye.
So carried. O,
And resolution to allow CE Avengers to use 101 New Paltz Road Pavilion and Lawn Area for Beauty, Health, and Wellness Vendor Expo on Sunday, September 12th, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Trail will remain open.
is there a motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion,
Oh,
is
yes.
that, are they renting it or are we donating it? It's not,
It's Pride Month.
I know.
no, I just want clarity on it because it didn't look like they were charity or anything like that, that's what I was asking. Right, okay. Right, thanks. Okay,
Is there a motion?
we motioned in
A
second.
second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carried. Any other business to come before the board this evening? Seeing none, need a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
A second?
Second.
All in favor? So carried. We're adjourned, kids.
Oh my God, no.
You didn't give me a chance to say aye.
Did everybody sign the,
It's been on my mind.
everybody sign these? Just the top page? The warrants, or whatever we call those. They're
Yeah, wanted a close-up of my nose.
unless you haven't signed, you've already signed.
Right behind you, so.
Sean,
You take 2 lines, Joe. Sometimes I skip it because I think somebody signed it.